I want to thank one of my subscribers, Cronkite, for sending me this suggestion. In case you guys missed it, I'd previously talked about the time the city of Boston banned Led Zeppelin because of how their fans behaved when they lined up to get tickets at the band's planned concert in the city. The link to that video is down below. But today I want to talk about the one specific country that banned Led Zeppelin, all because of their hair. Four years after the formation of Led Zeppelin, they were one of the biggest groups in the world. By this point in time, they had released 4 records, aptly titled Led Zeppelin 1 through 4. According to rock journalist Mick Wall, Led Zeppelin were so big that they, and I quote, were self-made millionaires that they now hid behind armed guards, employed their own drug dealers, and flew by private jet. Despite all their prestige, there was one place in the world they couldn't play, and that was Singapore. While the band flew to Singapore for a planned outdoor concert in the country on Valentine's Day in 1972, the authorities refused to let them get off the plane unless they cut their hair. The band declined and they were forced to fly back to London. While some people took issue with the band over their suggestive lyrics or rumors of satanic worship, the Singaporean authorities didn't seem to either know about that or single them out for that reason. Instead, they opposed the long hair sported by all members of the band. The government of Singapore was carefully watching what was happening in other countries at the time, with revolutions being led by young people, as well as drugs influencing the country's youth. The government of Singapore worried that if similar activities happened in their country, it would be detrimental. So the government invested heavily in education to help shape young people's minds to serve their country's best interests, and felt that long hair was a corrupting influence of Western culture. According to Mary C. Turnbull's book titled The History of Singapore, 1819 to 1998, the government spent a fortune on education as they saw this as their best means to limit any inkling of a revolutionary behavior. The book would claim the country spent a whopping 33% of their national budget on education, and the hair ban in Singapore would start in the 60s. But it wasn't just Led Zeppelin who found themselves turned away from the country, as 1 month prior, a wealthy Australian tourist told a newspaper of being told he had 2 days to get a haircut or leave the country upon his arrival. Of course, other acts during the 70s, including the Bee Gees and Japanese artists, also suffered similar fates. In 1974, Singapore would undertake a campaign called Operation Snip Snip, which would attempt to stamp out any people with excessively long hair, for example below the collar or hair covering the ears, and any civil servants who refused to clean up their hair would be fired. For those who had business dealings with the government, they would frequently see posters in the office that read, "Males with long hair will have their need attended to last." Of course, things got a little more liberal in Singapore in the 80s, with rock bands now frequently playing the city-state, regardless of their hair length. Even Robert Plant would play the country in 2013. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe, and we'll see you again on Rock and Roll True Stories. Take care.